Hi, everybody. Joe Cioffi here. Weather in 5 days in 5 minutes. Just a couple of highlights. We have not one but two winter storms going on in the western part of the United States, two of them. And meanwhile, in the east, spring-like weather continues, and we'll probably see some record highs being challenged over the next couple of days. That's all coming up tonight on the Joe and Joe Weather Show at 7:35 p.m. Eastern Time. Weather in 5 is brought to you by Omni True Value Hardware at 1226 North Wellwood Avenue in West Babylon, New York, and Southwest Suffolk County on Long Island. And they're making a gradual transition over from winter to taking care of you in the springtime. Mulch, topsoil, anything else you need to make sure your home, garden, and business look terrific on the outside. You can head over to Omni, 631-756-1125 for the best prices anywhere. OmniTrueValue.com is the website. So as I said, it's two storms. The first one is running up to the Great Lakes, and the second one is right behind it. And we're not seeing a whole lot of snow from the first one, but we are seeing a fairly large area of winter storm warnings and winter weather advisories from Montana and Wyoming eastward into Minnesota. The orange, those are blizzard warnings in eastern areas of North and South Dakota and western Minnesota. The second storm is producing a large area of winter storm warnings, half the state of Arizona, certainly the northern half, and also much of New Mexico, central and northern New Mexico, and except for the northernmost counties, most of Colorado and western parts of Kansas under winter storm warnings, with winter storm watches extending from north central Kansas northeastward into southwestern Iowa. We still have some residual winter storm warnings and winter weather advisories in northwestern California and southwestern Oregon. Wind advisories from Michigan down to Louisiana, back through Texas and the southwest. And in the east, it's just beautiful. We've got nothing going on from Maine to Florida. You can see on the satellite loop, except for a few clouds up in Maine, I should say, so I stand corrected, a little bit of stuff going on up in Maine. It has been a sunny, beautiful day from central New England down to Florida. Temperatures in eastern Pennsylvania to southern New England moving up through the 50s today. And you can see out here in the west the swirl that is moving through Kansas. That is the first storm that's lifting up to the northeast. As impressive as it looks on the satellite, this low is tracking so far west that we're going to see not only very little of it, but it's going to be the reason why we're going to take temperatures up into the 60s tomorrow as the winds bend from south to southwest to west across much of the area as the day goes on. Meanwhile, you're going to see the energy coming into the west, and that's producing clouds and snow and some heavy snows with that second system that'll be following right behind this one. Radars are quiet from Maine down to Florida. We could see some rain into Indiana, Kentucky, and through Tennessee. The signature on the radar is fairly impressive. It's hard to imagine, and you look at this, you think we'd be getting rain here coming tomorrow, but it's just not going to be the case. And you can see the radar echoes that are blossoming out in the southwest. So as far as what we're going to see here in terms of rainfall eventually, that will come later Thursday and into Friday. And WPC is showing rainfall amounts here, and this takes us, these are actually 5-day rainfall amounts, which takes us through the weekend. The system for Thursday into Friday is really the only one that's in play in much of the coastal eastern states. So we're looking at a quarter to maybe as much as a half an inch. There's a bit more to play with in the Appalachians west into the Ohio and Tennessee Valley and down into the south, where we're looking at 3/4 of an inch to as much as an inch and a half. In the areas where it's snowing, the liquid precip amounts from Arizona northeastward are on the order of a quarter to a half an inch, but there are some pockets of 3/4 of an inch to an inch of liquid. And when we look at the snowfall forecast map, you can see here from the first storm, again, not much from Wyoming and Montana eastward. These are on top of snow that has already fallen, by the way, and we're talking about an additional few inches. And meanwhile, with the second system, we're looking at some areas in southwestern Colorado and parts of Arizona getting a foot plus, and extending northeastward from Kansas on up to eventually into the Great Lakes. This looks like max areas could be on the order of 4 to as much as 8 inches, and we'll probably see additional winter storm watches go up for areas in the upper Mississippi Valley and into the Great Lakes, probably sometime this evening or certainly by tomorrow morning. So let's carry you through what it looks like as far as the overall pattern is concerned. And at least in the short range, we continue to be on the idea here that we're not going to see anything really resembling winter weather for at least the next week to 10 days or so. There are some subtle changes showing up in the models today, and they started showing up last night, but more so today. In the meantime, we still have this ridge off the southeast coast. We've got this trough that's approaching on Friday. Quick shot of cold air comes in Friday night into Saturday. It's gone by Sunday, and then we're back to warmer than normal temperatures to start next week. That trend might change a little bit, though, as we move through the week. You see the blue area in Canada shifting southward, so that actually is giving us a bit of a Canadian connection to some colder air beginning, say, in the middle part of next week. Now, in terms of what goes on day to day, let's back up here and take you through tonight and tomorrow. There's your storm moving up so far west that all the rain doesn't get anywhere close. And you see the isobars on Wednesday, they sort of bend back from south to southwest and eventually to west. 60s in many places away from the ocean. If we have enough sun, certainly could see some areas go 65 to 70 maybe, southern New Jersey and points southward. Thursday, that second storm comes out with a warm front moving through when some rain coming in Thursday afternoon, and then the cold front passes Friday morning. We'll have some showers and maybe even a thunderstorm when that front goes by. 60s again for Thursday. Leftover highs in the low 60s early in the day on Friday before temperatures ease as colder air comes in later Friday. We'll probably be down in the 20s and teens Saturday morning, and then back up to about 40 or so Saturday afternoon with sunshine, and then back up into the 50s on Sunday. And then after that, the next weather system looks to come through probably sometime along about next Tuesday, and that will be another cold front. Okay, Weather in 5 is brought to you by Omni True Value Hardware at 1226 North Wellwood Avenue in West Babylon, New York, 631-756-1125, the phone number, the website, omnitruevalue.com. So we're going to leave you here. I'll move myself to the other side so you can take a full view here of the satellite loop. And again, tonight, the Joe and Joe Weather Show will cover all of this, and we'll get into the long range. We'll talk about the stratospheric warming event and what that means or doesn't mean. That's all coming up tonight at 7:35 Eastern.